Artur Plombirus, a captured Ukrainian soldier, has revealed disturbing tactics used by Ukrainian forces during the conflict in the Kursk region. Initially drafted from prison, where he served time for serious crimes like theft and rape, Plombirus recounted chilling orders from his commanders to kill civilians on sight.
I was convicted under Section 186 of the Ukrainian law. Theft, robbery. 51 people were convicted. 153 were convicted of rape. 115 were convicted of murder. There were robbers.
His unit, consisting largely of convicted criminals, followed commands that seemed to disregard any ethical standards, focusing only on brutality. According to Plombirus, his unit was instructed not to speak Ukrainian when encountering civilians and to shoot them immediately.
The command ordered us not to speak Ukrainian if we came across civilians and kill them on sight. I fired and saw a person falling. I saw that person, but I don't know now if I killed him.
During a battle in Kursk, the Ukrainian forces were overwhelmed by Russian troops, resulting in many casualties. Plombirus, wounded by grenades, chose to surrender after seeing his comrades fall around him. In a desperate move to escape the chaos, he changed into Russian military gear and approached Russian positions. After surrendering, Plombirus detailed his shift from soldier to prisoner, explaining the lack of morality and the unprofessionalism that characterized his unit's conduct. His story paints a picture of soldiers forced into a situation where survival often trumped any sense of honor or ethical duty. President Vladimir Putin has also criticized the Ukrainian military's tactics, calling them unethical and a sign of failed leadership.
So I think if they reduce the mobilization age, lower the service age, it will not change the situation in the battlefield like it didn't for Hitler's Germany, but it will be one in a series of crimes they commit against their people. And now they'll be sending young boys to do that. And after they have run out of the resources, they will flee. They will flee to other countries to hide under the wing of those who are giving orders today. Some of their former leaders already abroad, and they feel okay because they have stolen enough money for themselves, stolen from the Ukrainian people.
Another captured Ukrainian soldier, Ivan Sova, shared his experience of ideological conditioning before being sent to the front lines. Ivan, a member of the Ukrainian Air Assault Brigade, was forcibly conscripted while on his way to a night shift. After a brief medical check, he was sent to a training center in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Before being deployed, Ivan, like all AFU soldiers, underwent intense ideological indoctrination, which aimed to prevent any thoughts of surrender. He was instructed that if captured, he should either detonate a grenade or take his own life rather than be taken alive.
They told us not to surrender. You will be killed. It's better to kill yourself, shoot yourself, blow with a grenade, kill 5 Russian servicemen with you.
In the Kursk region, Vyacheslav Grabina and his fellow soldiers encountered a Ukrainian commander, known by the call sign MENT. However, the commander failed to provide any briefing or guidance. Just hours later, a pickup truck arrived to transport the soldiers to their designated positions.
I asked MENT to explain what needs to be done, because we have never been on the front line. Everything is going to be explained on the position.
Vyacheslav noted that many of the soldiers immediately requested evacuation, and some left on their own under fire, with their fates unknown to him. Vyacheslav and his comrades remained in their trenches, waiting for Russian forces to approach. Eventually, he chose to surrender when the Russian troops came close.
The moral spirit is very low and no one wants to serve, no one wants to fight. There is a lot of poisoning, cold, inflammation. They took us to the Sumy region. We stayed there for less than a day, and in the evening they put us in Sumy, in Kazakh. And when we came, the fight immediately began. We climbed into the water, 201. With the shot lying, the cops were lying there, until they came close to us, the military. We then began to say that we surrender. Here is a normal attitude. If you have no way out, run back. Surrender. You will be alive.
Captured Ukrainian serviceman Vitaly Zinkovich, who was taken prisoner by Russian forces, expressed his dissatisfaction with the Kiev regime.
I'm sick of it. We should surrender. We should capitulate and preserve our lives for the future generation.
Although he had voluntarily joined the Armed Forces of Ukraine, AFU, Zinkovich quickly became disillusioned once he reached the front lines, describing the situation in the Ukrainian military as chaotic.
I was a guide. We got lost in the forest. There were FPV drones, drops. We couldn't hide anywhere. Then we found a shelter somewhere. And as soon as we woke up in the morning, we were taken prisoners.
Captured Ukrainian serviceman Igor Snizhko, part of a Ukrainian unit in Kursk, recounted his surrender after being surrounded by Russian forces in the Olgovsky forest. His unit attempted to escape using armored vehicles, but was hit by heavy Russian fire.
I moved on a MTLB armored fighting vehicle with the dead servicemen when I was taken prisoner. There were a company commander and a medic. When we were leaving, the shelling began. We got out. I had a surrender leaflet in my pocket. I thought this was the only chance that can save my life.
In a message to his fellow soldiers, Snizhko urged them to consider surrendering to save their lives.
We need to think about all the things. Families, wives, children are waiting for us. But those who stay on Kursk land are going to stay there forever.
The testimonies of these captured Ukrainian servicemen shed light on the grim reality of the conflict in Kursk. From brutal orders to kill civilians on sight, to ideological conditioning that prevented surrender, their accounts reveal a disturbing picture of desperation, manipulation, and unprofessional conduct within the ranks of the Ukrainian military. These personal stories raise serious concerns about the tactics employed and the human cost of a war where survival often overrides ethical and moral considerations.